Welcome to another edition of Business Today, where we discuss in depth the business world and its dealings. As always, we do have two exciting segments lined up for you today. And first off, it's going to be the personality segment, where we be highlighting a very interesting personality and then moving on to the market discussion. For today's personality, we are actually highlighting an industry, actually. I call this industry. There is a representative from a government institution, but that institution actually encaptures the whole industry. I'm actually talking about the Sri Lanka Handicraft Board. We have both on the Director General and the CEO of the organization here to talk about the said organization. It's also called Laksala, by the way. So let's learn a little bit about him, then we'll talk to him.
Madhura De Silva is currently the Director General and CEO of Sri Lanka Handicrafts Board, a chartered accountant by profession with more than 15 years of post-qualifying experience. He is a product of Nalanda College, Colombo. He started his career at KPMG as a trainee. After completing article training, he moved to the commercial sector and was holding several positions in the finance and IT fields. He has worked overseas in 3 countries in PwC. He worked in the management consulting field for more than 10 years with certifications on risk management, corporate treasury, and digital process consulting work. He has conducted many financial management, assurance, and accounting-related public training and global training in management and finance fields.
And we do have him in the studio right with us. Welcome to the show. Great to have you on.
Yeah, good to be here. Yeah.
Now, Mr. Madhura De Silva, I think we've all heard of the name Laksala. Now, we've seen the showroom, right? We've seen it pass by, and it's big, it's black, and you can see the whole signs and everything.
Sure.
But what's the Sri Lanka Handicraft Board? What's the relationship between that and Laksala? And can you elaborate on all that concept?
Yeah, I mean, Sri Lanka Handicraft Board was formed in 1982. It was formed through an act called National Craft Council and Allied Institution Act. So this was formed in 1982. So this act has another 2 more institutions, not only a Handicraft Board. So we have a institution called National Design Center, and then there is this National Craft Council, and also Sri Lanka Handicraft Board is there. So under Handicraft Board we have Laksala, so that is our brand name. So under Laksala we have like 12 showrooms. I also should need to tell you about National Design Center and the National Craft Council also, because those are important 2 institutions for this entire industry. National Design Center does a lot of, they do R&D and then the product development type of work. National Craft Council, they help the craftsmen on training and manufacturing, and they look after the craftsmen, and then they provide raw materials, and they provide equipment, tools for the craftsmen. But these 2 institutions are actually, funded by the government organization, through the government budget. But Sri Lanka Handicraft Board is a self-finance institution. We operate as a commercial operation, right? We do a commercial operation there, so we don't get any budget. No funding from the government.
So it's self-sustained.
It's a self-sustaining organization. So but we are actually, I should responsibly tell that in 2018 we made a profit. It was profitable, and even 2019 January, February, March we really did pretty well, but unfortunately after 21st April incident we had a real drop in our sales.
So you saw a huge dip.
Huge dip in sales, and but obviously, like in the past we had like ups and downs in Laksala, but then after the new management, I think our chairman is Mr. Mohammed Hamza. So he's I'm reporting to him, he's the chairman, and then he's actually from the business world, right? He's an experienced business person, and then he's heading the board now. So we manage the operation very professionally. Basically all the financial management, good financial management practices we adopt, and then aggressive sales and marketing campaigns. Obviously we can do more into sales and marketing, we need to do. But when it comes to the profitability of the organization, we obviously, I'm an accountant by profession, so we have earnings before interest, huge earnings before interest, but unfortunately there's a huge finance cost that we have to pay due to some previous years loans that we have obtained for infrastructure purposes, some, I mean, that was required, but then we have not done a proper match of, we have not basically analyzed the debt servicing capacity of the organization when we got those loans, so because of that we have a huge interest cost in our P&L. So if not for that, we'll be very profitable because we currently generate profits, before the 21st April incident. But after the 21st April, it was a disaster, because everybody was talking about the tourism industry, but nobody was talking about this industry, which was highly dependent on tourism as well.
So I think there is interconnection.
It's highly interconnected because we were mainly catering to the tourism industry, and then we were only catering like 30% to the local market. So this is where now we actually it was actually a incident which took place, and then we changed our strategy slightly, and then we want to move to the local market again, so because it was a household name, when we were small, we all went to Laksala those days, right? So but now I don't think nowadays the kids know much about Laksala.
It's mainly targeted as something tourists come into.
Tourists, So the whole problem is that Laksala, we were, it's not a problem actually, it's just we were catering to the gifts and souvenir segment, right? I would say that gift and souvenir segment is very much matured, right? It's matured now, because a lot of competitions and there are a lot of Chinese products are there.
So like talking about the competition, let's talk about who like the most competitive when it comes to like Laksala.
Competitors. There are many competitors. Even Colombo also there are like 8, 9, 10 big shops are there. So who are selling these similar type of products. But I, as being the industry leader, right? So I don't want to go for a cutthroat competition with them, because we are a state-owned enterprise. We have our way of dealing things, and then the main thing is what I believe is if you do the correct thing. If you do the correct thing, the correct results will come. What I'm saying is because we have the supplier database, we deal with around 2,000 suppliers, and we have the integration between the National Design Center, National Craft Council, right? The National Craft Council has around 120 training centers all around the country. Out of that, around 75% training centers are actively performing. So we have the link, and then the supply chain is the key to the growth of this organization.
So I guess now talking about the supply chain.
Yes.
Now supply chain is of course local handicrafts.
Exactly.
Local manufacturers.
Yeah.
Can you just elaborate a little bit about how those people get involved in manufacturing and supply?
Sure. The supply chain, I should, you can come and see in all our showrooms, we don't deal with any imported products.
How many showrooms do you have?
We have 12 showrooms. 12 that's one thing that I want to tell also, our 12 showrooms, you can come and see the quality of the 12 showrooms. Some people come and see us, is it a government organization? They think it's done by a private organization. That's the quality of our showrooms. So we maintain that quality, except for this candy showroom, which we have some problems with the World Heritage site, because of that we cannot do some renovation. But other than that, all other 11 showrooms are in a very good standard. So we maintain that standard because we are catering to the tourist market. So because of that, the showrooms are in a very good standard. So coming back to the supply chain question, Win, so we, as I mentioned, we have around 2,000 suppliers, right? So we have our mobile purchasing, we call it, we have our mobile purchasing campaigns, we just go there and then to some villages and we buy it. So some we go like every 3 months, some we go in every 6 months. And then we recently opened our Polgol supply chain, basically the collection center. So that actually, because the highest concentration of suppliers are from candy districts. So do you know the reason for that? It's interesting because I also learned it when I joined
Just
here.
because
That is because that was our last kingdom.
Oh.
So all the craft
they
they stopped there. So they didn't come, I mean, they didn't have anywhere to go, so they stopped. Those generations are still there. So the highest concentration of craftsmen are still from the Kandy district.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Even some people are there who made jewelries for king, the last king. So they are like Devanarayan and all those people like who came from those with the king. So those people are still there living, and they are still supplying for us. Those traditional products. Yeah. So the supply chain, again, I must emphasize here the people that we are dealing with. I would say they are like very micro level people. We call it micro enterprises. We cannot even call them small and medium enterprises, because there's a difference. Micro enterprises are below people who have 9 and below employees. Yeah. Some people are having only they are doing it. They don't even want to go expand because it's a handicraft industry. Yeah. It's just sometimes the creativity is with you. So that creativity you cannot pass, but this is where the role of National Craft Council, National Design Center comes, because they train. They have the training centers. So I mean, the word Guru Mushti, some people like to keep that, but then that is actually is not the way forward. So yeah, exactly. So so the supply chain that we are dealing with, it's a very micro level supply chain. And these people have not basically grown up to that level that we have seen. So it's a challenge to deal with them, because to get new products, and also to understand, like sometimes they manufacture something and they think that that has to be bought by the customer, but the world has changed now. We need to cater to the customer need. Yeah. Right.
Talking about the customer need and competing, you have to be recognized with the economic world. You have to be recognized with other businesses.
Sure.
And of course, what type of recognitions has Laksala got, apart from, I guess, the perception-wise? Right. What is the industry's recognition of Laksala?
You mean to say about the handicraft industry, like the recognition, or
I guess in terms of world recognition, I think that will be pretty nice to hear as well. How Sri Lankan handicraft is actually regarded in the world,
right?
And of course, Laksala as a business, how is it?
Correct. So I should, I should be honest with you here. Like the problem here is, we have been operating in a very, I would say, at an informal level, right? So we actually, even if you ask me, what is the contribution to the GDP through handicraft, we don't have that data with us.
So the local economic data?
Yeah, the local economic data is not there. So we don't know whether the products are in oversupply for us to go to the global market, right? So, so we need to know whether there is an oversupply of products, that even we don't have. So we have already initiated at ministry level to, we initiated discussion to have a survey done on the suppliers. So this survey was done in 1980s, if I'm not mistaken, sometime back, and after that, this data is not there. Now, data is very vital for us to even move to go beyond the horizon. So, that is very vital. So this data is data we don't have. So I would say at pocket level, like at very informal level, the people go and supply to the export market. They do it. But if you really ask whether we have export strategy, right? Yeah. National, we don't have. So we are having discussions with our other institutions to develop this
particular infrastructure, I guess.
No, the export strategy.
Oh, okay.
So national export strategy should be in place. So that for many other industries, the national export strategy is there. So unfortunately for this industry, we don't have export strategy. So we are at a very, I would say, very primitive level when it comes to the exporting and all that, because it happens in a very informal level. So we need, that's where we need to first start, is to understand the baseline. Yeah. What level of data we have, what is the production that we have, and
so then I think I want to ask about the SMEs in being involved.
Sure.
So rather than going to the details of how many people are there, how do people actually get involved? What is the collaboration level between not even an SME or a micro financer with Laksala? What are the suppliers to collaboration like?
The supply corporation is, as I mentioned already, you know, the data, you know, we have now this National Craft Council is arranging these exhibitions all over the country, right? There'll be an exhibition in October, I mean in October also there'll be a big exhibition. So in that one, you know, you get like all new suppliers also, you can see the new products and all that will be introduced. So we have to approach them and then get these new suppliers to on board to Laksala. So that is, and then they directly come to our supply chain, and then they basically bring their own products. So also we have to look for new suppliers as well. So it's a challenge because, you know, I mean, like I said, you know, if you really go to the Facebook, you can see these. There are many, you know, people who are selling these handicraft, right? So so
just to get them involved is, I guess.
Get them involved is the challenge there, you know. So how do we get them involved? And then as I already mentioned, this gift and souvenir range is very much matured.
Yeah.
Right. So
I mean, I'll ask about this.
Sure.
I want to elaborate a little bit further on about what you envision for the future.
Yeah.
But what do you see as the next immediate step of evolution when it comes to, apart from gifts and souvenirs? You know, what should Laksala be?
That's a very good question. You know, today actually, you know, we were internally discussing on the areas that we should be going to. You know, the gift and souvenir range is it's a very matured market now. You know, everybody, you know, creates something, creativity. Through their creativity, they manufacture something and then they introduce some products to the market, right? But the other products that we want to move into is, I mean, what we want to move, the area that we want to move into is the products which have a utility value, right? You know, the good place to start is your kitchen. So, you know, what we want to promote is, you know, buy Sri Lankan, you know, so just, we don't have any plastic goods in our shops, you know, we don't sell. So, I mean, sustainable, you know, development, you know, so that is what we need to bring into the table now, because that's where the growth will be, right? So then today morning, like we were having a discussion on the products, and then I got a call from Australia, and then that person requested the similar type of products. It's unbelievable how the world is, you know, the requirements, the needs are becoming very narrow because of the connectivity and the same thinking. The people need more eco-friendly products, kitchen utensils, you know, products with environmental friendly products, and then also the kids' toys, you know, and also the things like handloom, batik, and those type of products, and then the products which have some aesthetic values in the interior decors. Even simple things like aprons, you know, they need it, you know, Australia needed, and the same thing we were also talking to promote here in Sri Lanka. It's unbelievable. So the requirements are becoming very narrow. The people's, you know, that is where the growth will be definitely. You know, I just did a small Facebook post in my social media account asking for, you know, people to, you know, invest on. Look for. I just put a post into look for buyers. You know, personally I put it right on behalf of Laksala. So I have got like 5 calls. One from Vancouver, one from New York, one from even a place from Kenya also. You know, I never thought that I would get a call from Kenya because you know there are enough of handicraft, but they wanted to go for Sri Lankan handicrafts, right? I got a call from Maldives, and today I got a call from Australia. So all you know, I mean, they are asking for the same type of product. So there's a huge potential in the market for handicraft.
Now, of course, talking about, you know, being a supplier right now, if there are outside, you know, watching right now, if there are entrepreneurs who are developing products or have local manufacturing going on, but they don't have an outlet to sell, apart from, like you said, social media right now. If they want to partner up with Laksala, become a supplier, what's this process like?
We have our supply chain division. You know, it was previously in Havelock Town, but then after this bomb blast, you know, we shifted it to Katubed. You know, we had to tighten our belts, so we had to shift to Katubed, to our own premises warehouse. So the supply chain is there. Anybody can go to the supply chain division and then get themselves registered, or they can directly contact me because I'm on, you know, social media. I'm on LinkedIn. They can contact me. They can come down, visit me at my office at Tumula. I'm available at any time, and they can even talk to me and then register themselves. So we are open, like we are open for new products. You
Yeah.
know,
You
our
always
challenge
switch.
is also to look for get new products,
Yeah.
right? So we are happy to be more than happy to get suppliers on board. So we want to we have allocated a separate budget for new products.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we were talking about what you envisioned for the future, and you talked about how to expand the next immediate steps.
Yeah.
But apart from that, what do you see in a broader scale? How do you see Laksala progressing onwards?
Yeah. So as I already mentioned, we have to have a proper vision, where we are heading, and then being a state-owned enterprise, we need to have a consistent strategy, so if there's a management change, we cannot, change according to the whims and fancies of the next management. So, we had to have a consistent strategy, and then what we currently trying to focus is not to expand anymore the showrooms. We don't want to go into more brick and mortar models. So we want to go into more digital. So the e-commerce, we already signed a payment gateway platform and all that. We are doing it, but certain the government procedures are basically slowing down the processes, but we cannot do according to the pace that we want. So we have actually gone into a partnership with wow.lk. So our products we have listed there, and then we want to go into digital, marketing. The e-commerce is the key.
So the expanding of e-commerce and
e-commerce,
the
yeah,
export
exactly.
markets.
Yeah, export market is that's how we have to go to the future. Future is that e-commerce market. So the showroom is costly affair. To overheads will be high and all that, and then we have looked other places as well, like places like Sigure, Arugambe. But with this incident, with the 21st of April incident, we thought of holding those openings and then maybe focus on more on going to digital space.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Madhura De Silva, for joining us. I think it was a
much.
very fruitful discussion. We learned a lot about the local handicraft industry and about Laksala as well. And with that, we'll wind up the personality segment. We will be back with a very exciting market discussion segment. So stay tuned in. Don't go anywhere.